Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here, with Malik, curators of the Philosophy Archive. We left Al-Farabi last time, and yet this very severity is why his thought endures. Today, we pick up where we left off. What if the philosopher-prophet is too rare to rule? Al-Farabi's ideal city is a beautiful concept, but it may not be practical. The tension emerges from Al-Farabi's ambition. He envisions a ruler who is both a philosopher and a prophet, but that combination is exceedingly rare. This raises the question, how can we expect one individual to embody both roles perfectly?
You're framing Al-Farabi's ambition as a weakness, but isn't it more about the societal constructs around governance? The ideal ruler shouldn't just be a chimera. This notion of a perfect leader might actually stifle the real potential of human governance. Cities are led by imperfect individuals, not flawless ideals. We need to recognize the human element in leadership, even if it seems less attractive.
Al-Farabi's vision does demand a high standard, but this is precisely what makes his thought so enduring. The philosopher-prophet must rise above the ordinary. Yet, the more exacting his criteria, the less likely any ruler can meet them. This gap creates vulnerabilities within the city. It opens the door to imposters and power struggles, which history is filled with.
But is it fair to label those imposters as failures of Al-Farabi's vision? They are products of a flawed system. Al-Farabi's insistence on philosopher kings overlooks the complexity of governance in a pluralistic society. Disagreement about what makes a good life is not ignorance. It's a fundamental part of civic existence. We shouldn't dismiss that element.
You have a point. The role of religion also adds layers to Al-Farabi's ideal city. He treats religious law as a symbol of philosophical truth. But theologians might argue that revelation is primary. Al-Farabi risks making philosophy superior, reducing the authority of religion. This tension is critical, as it could alienate those who see revelation as foundational.
Exactly. Al-Farabi's hierarchy of thought can really undermine the mystical elements of religion. When he prioritizes philosophical interpretation, he risks diluting the power of prophetic revelation, which is where many people find their deepest connections. That's a significant flaw in his argument. We have to recognize that countless individuals derive meaning from experiences that go beyond reason. Ignoring that can really shape not just personal identities, but also the fabric of civic life in ways we can't overlook.
This leads us to the historical context. Al-Farabi lived in a fragmented world where competing dynasties and sects were constantly clashing for power. His vision of an ideal city aimed for unity amidst that chaos, but the reality of his time made such unity almost unattainable. The philosophy he proposed is undeniably profound, yet it struggles when faced with the harsh conditions of history. This chaos doesn't just challenge his ideas. It sharpens our critique of them, forcing us to reckon with the complexities of human nature and governance.
And let's not forget the implications of paternalism in his vision. Al-Farabi assumes that only a few can grasp the truth, leaving the majority to follow. This dynamic invites potential abuse of power. If a ruler is flawed, the entire city suffers. The safety net is almost non-existent. It hinges on the ruler's virtue alone.
That's an important critique. His system relies heavily on the ruler's perfection, which is a dangerous gamble. The machinery of education can be turned to manipulation just as easily as it can promote genuine guidance. We see this modern anxiety in our own time. We fear that the very tools meant to enlighten us can just as easily lead us astray. History shows us that when knowledge becomes a weapon, it often serves those in power, not the people.
Exactly. Al-Farabi really overestimates how much truth can be out in the open when it comes to politics. Cities aren't classrooms. They thrive on conflict and compromise, shaped by the people who live there. Expecting everyone to come together as one while ignoring the reality of divided loyalties? That's just unrealistic. His vision, though noble in intent, overlooks the everyday struggles and complexities that real people face. It's the messiness of life that often drives us apart.
Yet, this very severity is why Al-Farabi's thought endures. He challenges us to aim for a higher standard in politics. It's not about seeking comfort or settling for easy compromises. Rather, it's about the relentless pursuit of human perfection. This pursuit remains an enduring challenge, even when history lays bare our repeated failures. We must remember that striving for excellence often brings us face to face with our own limitations, and that's where true growth can happen.
And that leads us back to the haunting question: why does this challenge still resonate today? Al-Farabi's vision is more than just theory. It's a powerful call to action that's still relevant. We need to think about how we engage with the ideals of governance, especially when we're faced with complexity and real human suffering. It's about the people affected by these decisions, and how we can strive to do better in their names. That's where we leave it this time. Al-Farabi continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Philosophy Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.